we are here with the Wellness Warriors Collective from Legacy Counseling Service. I'm Dr. Melissa Leedy, clinical health psychologist.
And I'm Tiffany Turner-Coats, board certified health and wellness coach.
Yes. So we're here with another episode, and we are going to talk about hydration.
I think staying hydrated, we all know it's really important. I think the bigger issue for people is, how do you make adjustments? How, like, okay, you're, super busy, you're going 90 miles an hour, like a lot of us are all the time. Like, how do I make some effective changes to, like, allow my hydration level to kind of get back into a regulated state?
Right. How do you know that you need to increase your hydration?
I think for me, I notice energy level, like low energy. People can even get cranky. It really can affect your mood.
Headaches. That's what happens to me.
Yes.
But I was told that if you are thirsty, anytime you find yourself being thirsty, that means you are dehydrated. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. That's
what you've been told.
That's what I've been told. Yes.
Yeah. So I always try to get to a stage at a point where I'm never feeling thirsty.
Right. It's not.
And it takes practice even recognizing what that feels like.
Yes. Or what signs to look for, like you said.
Right.
Like, how do I know? Does everyone get headaches? Probably not. But I think mood swings, like super low energy levels, I think that's the most common for people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think, instituting some, maybe new healthy practices around hydration is oftentimes key for people. So one, like my favorite, is starting off with water in the morning.
They're dehydrated. If you really think about it,
right,
you have gone all night, however long you have been asleep,
right,
without hydration.
It's not even just the whole night that you're asleep. A lot of us cut off liquids. Like, I try to stop drinking liquids by like 8 or 8:30. So, it's a significant amount of time that your organs are like, what's happening? So, still having coffee in the morning, but just starting off with like 8 ounces of water.
Yeah.
And I think there is oftentimes like this thought process that you have to have like a gallon of water a day. Like, that is not necessarily true. It varies based on person.
Is there a recommended though, like, a guideline for how much water, how many ounces people should be drinking,
I think,
like based on their weight or something like that?
I think there's still a lot of unknown and almost contradictory information around that. You could pull up, a study that was just out, I want to say it was on NPR, and it was really interesting. It was like, the gallon is not the move. Really, most likely it's like the, 64 ounces. Mm-hmm. But I think it just depends on a combination of things, because, okay, so maybe on a Sunday, I don't need as much water as I'm going to need on a Monday when I'm having like a heavy cardio day in the gym. I think your needs kind of fluctuate based on activity level. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So do you have any tips like for people, when you're working with people, about how to increase their hydration?
One of the biggest tips outside of starting off with water is kind of switching out some caffeine for water during the day. Just switch to a non-caffeinated beverage, late afternoon, which, to some might sound boring, but tea, there's so many fun tea options that are not caffeinated and still give you like a little, boost, because there's so many healthy ingredients.
Right. Yeah, and I think even figuring out, like, do you really love really, really cold water, ice water? Or do you love, just room temperature water?
And then, another thing that I almost forgot, think about things that are dehydrating you. Alcohol. In addition,
coffee also dehydrates you.
Yeah.
Yes, alcohol.
Caffeine, alcohol are, big factors. And I think, when people are drinking, sometimes you're like, well, I'm staying hydrated. I'm clearly drinking a lot of beverages. But, just throwing in some water into the mix of that, before and after definitely will help. Mm-hmm. Another huge thing, especially when you start getting back into the cycle of, rehydrating. It seems like an eternity that you are just in the bathroom all the time. But that phases out. It's, just a part of it, your body getting back in. Oh yeah. Right. I definitely, in my planner, my handwritten planner that I do, all, like, when I'm feeling really depleted, I will just literally go in there and write like 20, 20, 20, 20 and just see, and then just mark it off throughout the day. And then that gives me kind of a better gauge.
Oh, so you're doing, when you say 20, 20, 20, what do you mean?
That's how many ounces I'm drinking in the setting.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then you just mark it off.
Yeah. And then I mark it off. And then I have a better idea. I think being prepared too, like you said, having your Stanley, like if you have it with you, you're more likely to drink it than if you're, running around all day, we're driving the kids around,
I think there really are a lot of things that we experience, like discomforts that we experience on a very regular basis, that we're constantly asking, like, why am I having headaches? Why do I have low energy? And of course, there could be a multitude of reasons for why that is. But I think if you can rule out hydration,
some of the basics,
like just rule out some of the basics, and so you can say, but you know what, I actually do get enough water.
So this is not what it is. Let me explore some other,
because sometimes it really is just we are just dehydrated, chronically dehydrated, muscle cramps. Like, it can contribute to muscle cramps and just all kinds of.
The moodiness, I think, is a really big surprise for people. Like irritability. I think a lot of people don't associate that with being dehydrated, but that's a really
again, it's a really great experiment to do. Like, if you're having these things, like, just experiment with increasing your hydration and tracking it however you like to do it, and then keep track of some of these symptoms that you're having to see, is it positively impacted by hydration?
Is drinking water mitigating some of these other issues that I'm having? And there's so many fun ways that you can do it. Like Melissa said, and writing it down, but fitness trackers, MyFitnessPal, chronometer. There's so many options that you can track, or even, on your Apple Watch, set up a reminder.
My husband has one of those big, huge jugs, and he fills it up, and then he replenishes his little cups with that. And so he's looking throughout the day to see
where
how much water have I had from that big whole thing. Like, his goal is to get through that thing. And most of the time he does. Yeah. But he wasn't always like that.
Right. No, it's not an immediate. You're not just automatically drinking a gallon of water.
Right.
It does take some work, but it's the payoff is definitely worth it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So if people need any help with water hydration,
Well, I love water hydration. If you need help with any of these areas, I am available for coaching here and really anywhere in the United States.
Yeah. And if you want to know more, like, if you are like, well, I think I drink enough water, but you need to schedule with Tiffany and just figure out, like, is this it or is it not? Is something else? That would be a great, short couple coaching sessions to see, because that's part of what you are trained to do, is to kind of sparse out, like, maybe what's a contributing factor to what, and help kind of narrow things down.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times we get just kind of almost in this tunnel vision, and it's easier, oftentimes to have someone who's able to take kind of like a macro approach to everything.
Anyway, Tiffany's available though throughout the country over telehealth, does coaching over telehealth, or if you're in the Tulsa metro area, she does that here on site at Legacy. And I guess that's it. Okay, bye. Thanks, guys. Bye.